Good morning, wrestling fans. Welcome to PWR Today for Memorial Day, May 30th, 2022. The man they call Meathead, Matthew Thomas, as the normal, usually filling in for Linda on the AEW PayPerView recaps. Matthew, good morning.
Hey, good morning and happy Memorial Day to you, Meathead.
I don't like saying Happy Memorial because Memorial Day is not a happy day. It's a day to remember those that lost their life in defending our country. It's not a happy day. It's a day we observe. So let's talk sponsor real quick. Speaking of Memorial Day and Memorial 22.
collarandelbowbrand.com, promo code Memorial22 Memorial22 to save you 20% off. There's a lot of 20s and there's a lot of varying 20s, but it saves you 20% off and allows you to stock up on all of your goods from Collar and Elbow Brand.
There you go. We are going to make this quick and clean. We're going to try to keep it in 20 minutes. We won't go over 4.5, 5 hours like an AEW pay-per-view does. We are going to try to make it tight and clean 20. Are you ready? Let's talk first. One bit of news that is related to this pay-per-view. Matthew Thomas will talk about it, and then we'll give opinions. Is MJF working us?
I don't know if MJF is working us as much as AEW is working us. Yes, I think so. And this is what a work looks like. This is what kayfabe looks like in 2022. Ever since fans got smart enough to the business, the best that you can do is to get the rumor mills talking, to get Reddit talking, to get
the dirty sheets.
Yeah, to get, dirtysheets.com some views. Uncle Wade and Uncle Dave on their telephones running up their phone bill. I think so. And I think that once we break down that first match, it's a way of having the outcome you had in the first match with still having MJF relevant, without it looking like that he just got squashed. So I think that this is the way you stir up some news in 2022.
Well, again, there was talk out there that he, as of 5 hours before showtime, that he wasn't in the building yet, that he had missed, fan interactions and people had paid to see him. And I think we're being worked. You're right. I don't think it's MJF working us. I think it's the building. There was one ongoing thread throughout the pay-per-view last night that kind of irritated me. Tony Schiavone continued to sell us the pay-per-view while we're watching it.
Oh, my goodness. It's not too late. You've got one match left. Call your friends.
In the main event, he sold it.
Get them to drop $50 or, in some people's cases, $100 when Bleacher Report does not function properly.
Right. Right before they went to the proper pay-per-view, you had Excalibur going, hey, Bleacher Report told us it works now. Great. I mean, they had audio issues. They had...
Yeah. Well, here's what Tony reminded me of, though. It reminded me of Nani's era Nitro, where he's like, call your friends up, let them know this is about to happen, get everybody on the phone now. Yeah.
Did they dial a 1010 collect or 1010-321 or what was the one that David Arquette used to pimp?
You had 1-800 collect. You had.
I think he was a 1-800 collect.
Was he? Oh my goodness. Yeah. You know what? I did end up on my second attempt going through my local cable provider. And all as 1990s as it may have seemed, my goodness, I had probably one of the most seamless AEW pay-per-view experiences outside of trying to mess with Bleacher Report for most of them. Every time,
your money back. Yep.
Every time so there is going to be a disputed charge on Matthew Thomas's end from Bleacher Report.
Yeah. So let's talk about the buy-in. It was about 15 minutes before the top of the hour. It was Hook and Danhausen taking on the team of Tony Nese and Smart Mark Sterling. You know what? Mark Sterling is a wrestler, by the way, folks. He's cut and he can go, but they do the right thing by covering him up in some huge goofy ass outfit.
Yeah.
This match was exactly what it needed to be, and it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and it was the right match to have on the buy-in, but you've got a match where you've got two very over-talented Hook and Danhausen, so it was the right thing to kick things off.
Absolutely ecstatic about the match. Let's go into the pay-per-view proper. And by the way, at the end of the broadcast today, we're going to have the new totals and a new leader in the PWR fantasy draft for 2022/23. I wonder who it's going to be. MJF takes on Wardlow. Matthew, you had MJF in this match. It had to be a given that MJF was going to lose this match. Now, again, this whole working us, not showing up, not being at the building, He was going to be there, folks, and he was going to lose to Wardlow, the winner of the match. Wardlow is all elite.
Yeah, and not just lose, he gets absolutely squashed. And now
10.
whether this match was booked the way that it was to get more people talking and to make it look like MJF was doing the job big time, and this was the dispute, and it was creative, and MJF, consistently coming up with the short end of the stick on these feuds. Who knows? That's kindling for the fire there. But yeah, it was a decisive Wardlow victory here.
The tag team match, excuse me, the Elite versus the Delete, the Hardys and the Young Bucks. You know what? I've heard talk that please don't give us this match where they do all their gimmicks all in one match. Give us just a normal match that they do a couple spots. You know what? That's what this was. And this match looks to me like they can do 2 or 3 more.
Yeah. No, outstanding match. Definitely lived up to the hype and was just a great match all around. It was a great story that they told, and I was excited to see the Hardys pick up the win.
What was Caprice Coleman's job on commentary? Why was he there?
It made me scratch my head.
The fake Elvis band performing Super Kick Party to the tune of Viva Las Vegas. I popped huge for that.
It was creative.
All right. TBS Championship match. Anna Jay and Jade Cargill. For a match that was built up just last week, there was no way Jade Cargill was going to lose this match. The winner and still champion, Jade Cargill.
Yeah, kind of a last-minute booking here. This was one of the rougher Jade matches that I'd seen. I don't think these two matched up very well. We kind of had a lot of pause, rewind, fast forward going on in this match, but the outcome I think was pretty easy to predict here.
Well, did you predict Stokely Hathaway? And I didn't know that was his name. Stokely Hathaway. Did you predict that?
No, I didn't, but we had a lot of news developments coming out at the end of this match.
Okay, not only Stokely Hathaway, there was a young lady that came out by the name of Athena, formerly known as Ember Moon. She made her AEW debut.
Yes, indeed. We had a lot of former NXT and WWE overall talent here in this match.
But you know what? The match was the match, and I'm okay with it. Let's move on. Death Triangle and the House of Black. I liked the different face paint that the House of Black had on. I absolutely am furious with AEW in this match. Furious. And I say furious in a fire sense, because why the hell was that kid by the pyro?
Like we talked about earlier, I mean, I set off pyro around children all the time. So, maybe I'm just a little bit desensitized.
Pass your joke. Am I overreacting? Because that kid started wandering off over by the pyro that was shooting off. Am I wrong?
AEW doesn't have a great track record as far as it pertains to small children and animals around pyro. You remember Cody's dog and remember the controversy with that? Very reminiscent of that.
I mean, seriously, how old was the kid? 4, 5? That's cool that he came out.
Yeah.
Or she came out. They had a mask on, so we couldn't tell. But what the hell?
Well, and it was never, it was never explained. The kid was just out there, and
Well, okay. Well, I mean, the winners of the match, the House of Black, due to Julia Hart wearing the House of Black face paint and spraying Pac in the eye.
AEW does a good job of long-term booking and slow burn booking, and no pun intended with the pyro and everything. But that's what this was, man. I had forgotten kind of about the Julia Hart thing because they were not running in the same circles as that. And so when the lights went down, it didn't come to mind. And I give AEW credit there for putting it out of mind enough. And this was on the short list for match of the night. I thought both teams worked great together.
They were amazing.
And this is what the trios division can be in AEW if done properly.
And will be. I mean, because again, those belts are already made. Just put them out there. Let's get them. Let's go. Yeah. The men's side of the Owen Hart Foundation men's tournament. Samoa Joe, Adam Cole, in the PWR fantasy draft. I hedged my bets and I had both competitors. I knew I was winning this, but I should have just stuck with who I had, because Adam Cole, baby, like I told you folks, was winning this.
Yeah, I think that the right decision was made here. I don't think as strong as Joe's been, Joe being the RH champion, I think Cole needed something. He hasn't been victorious in his matches with Hangman. This was exactly what he needed, and I think they made a good call here.
I'm absolutely confused by the next match and the entrances. You guys know, watching and listening to anything PWR that we've done over the years, you guys know I love a musical entrance and a musical performance, right? All right, so there goes dude to play in Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. All right, that's cool, whatever. She no-sold him all the way up to the ring, by the way.
Yeah.
Did you see that? I mean, she literally ignored that dude was behind her. Why? Hey, is this guy playing guitar behind me? What the hell's going on? And then she just stared at him. And then Triple H starts playing guitar. Wait, that wasn't Triple H? That was an out-of-shape Triple H?
Oh, my goodness. I thought the same thing, man. I thought, especially when the shots were not tight and they were a little ways away, it looked like a doppelganger for Triple H, man. That dude is so pissed off with what they've done to his NXT that he's freaking picked up the guitar and he's playing Ruby Soho.
That's the band Rancid, and I apologize to the lead singer. Huge wrestling fan, by the way. And Ruby had reached out to him to say, "Hey, I plan on using Ruby Soho for my ring name and music," and he was all over it. But one, you had two competitors played in by music. One, Britt Baker no-sold Burt Ward or Robin or whoever his name was until he got up to the ring. And then two, after she walked in, and she had the better entrance of the two, obviously. The crowd went to sleep.
Yeah.
This match was a snoozer. I feel so bad for the girls. I feel so bad for the fans having to go through 5.5, 6 hours or whatever they went through. They literally were sitting on their hands for this entire match.
Yeah, you run the risk, unfortunately. And, like so many people at home, I think during this card, during the show, you're just saying, okay, we're going to have this match, and I'm sorry, but I think all of the, one of the big news stories this week was Tony Khan saying the main event was not going on until after Game 7 was finished. I think that was completely unnecessary. I think that put a little something over the show that, it just didn't need to be there. And I don't understand why that was such a big story, because I think he created this wrestling fan and this sports fan that's going to drop $50 on this pay-per-view but not watch it or something along those lines, or maybe drop $50 and not watch it because of Bleacher Report. I mean, that's very feasible. But I think that this whole thing about Game 7, man, was just kind of hanging over the show, and I think it bled into the audience's reaction at times.
Possibly. A quote from Jim Ross in commentary: "There will be other winners of this tournament. There will never be another time to be the first." Yeah. Amazing stuff. So Adam Cole the first, Britt Baker the first, the king and queen, by the way, boyfriend, girlfriend. So, I mean, if you didn't see this one coming, Dr. Martha Hart hands him the trophies and the titles, which will not be defended. But that makes Adam Cole's win a title win, doesn't it? Adam Cole, baby, for the team they call Meatheads, with tons and tons and tons of points. And quite possibly the worst match of the night, the mixed trios match. Paige Van Zandt, Scorpio Sky, and Ethan Page. Ty Conte, Sammy Guevara, and Frank Kazarian. I had no idea what the fuck was going on.
So watching this match, and just overall in general, AEW, I think they wanted somebody to get that Cody heat, to inherit that Cody heat. And it's unfortunate because Sammy, one of the most talented people on that roster, and he is getting, he's getting the reception he's getting now because of the way he's been booked. Like, you are taking one of your pillars of AEW, you're taking one of your absolute studs and seeing how much go away heat they can get. I don't understand it, and I don't think it's effective for what they're trying to do as a company.
The one spot that I'm going to remember from this match was pretty awesome, actually. Paige Van Zandt sent Ty Conte headfirst into the mommy daddy button of Sammy Guevara in the corner, and it was laid out perfectly.
Yeah, no, that's definitely what they were going for there.
But then Sammy Guevara got a super kick right into the face of Ty Conte instead.
Yep.
Darby Allin and Kyle O'Reilly. This was going to be, so Kyle O'Reilly's a hell of a striker and a hell of a mat grappler, and Darby Allin is a crash test dummy, a car crash, right? This match was good. when we talk about their production problems, I wanted a replay of the spot where Darby tried to do it on the commentary side, not the ramp side.
Yeah.
But on the commentary side. And Jim Ross goes, we'll try to get that shot for you whenever we can. You're not going to get it because you guys suck and you didn't get it.
Yeah.
They kept showing, and what Kyle and Darby did is they did the exact same spot on the ramp.
Yeah.
And that's the shot they showed.
And JR kept going back wanting to see that replay. Like, he wouldn't let it go.
I'd like to see a replay. What happened? No, that's the other one. We'll try to get it.
But no, man, I think they matched up very well. It was a nice contrast of styles that worked very well. And, I think this is one of the brighter spots where AEW with the records and AEW with the booking like they do, it really could have gone either way. And I think it was a really solid victory for O'Reilly.
I love me some Thunder Rosa, and I actually love me some Serena Deeb. So the AEW Women's Championship match, Thunder Rosa and Serena Deeb. And you know what? The crowd woke right back up.
Yeah.
They woke up because they multiple times in this match, this is wrestling, and we got a wrestling match. Thunder Rosa and Serena Deeb doing the women's division and AEW proud in this match. Thunder Rosa retains.
Absolutely, and enough of a variation from the other women's matches on the card. This felt different, with the submission style wrestling. This felt like a different style of wrestling match. So great job here. And overall, too, I mean, there were dull moments at times, but you got to give everybody there in that audience credit because they sat through a long show, man. And I think overall, they
I honestly think the popcorn match of Tay Conte and Sammy and all those guys, finally they went and got some 500 energy drinks or something.
Yeah. No, you had something that, unfortunately wasn't must see.
Anarchy in the arena. This one was also very confusing. However, it was kind of a good confusing. I actually enjoyed it. I don't know where you're going to be at. We'll get there in a second. They replayed Wild Thing 2.5 times. And it just kept going. I'm like, are they going to play this song? Well, I mean, we're going to know how long this, the match is if you play the song, because the song's 4 minutes or whatever it is. And then Jericho points at the camera, goes, I got the soundboard, and ripped it out. And then the song stopped. That was kind of funny. I mean, you've never seen that before. I don't know what happened to, was it Matt Kennard or was it Angelo Parker? I think it was Matt Menard that got Crimson Mask instantly.
Yeah.
But we didn't see it because there was too much going on.
Yeah. Can you imagine the guys in the truck on this one? I mean, can you imagine how on your toes?
No, dude, I have live audio feed from it. You ready to hear it? Hold on, let me get it played.
Let's
here.
do it.
Ready 5, go 5. Ready 1, go 1. Ready 3, go 3. Ready 2, go 2. Let's stay. Ready 4, go 4. That was it. Right there.
Wait, was that an auctioneer?
Something like that. You just won yourself a cattle. It was 20 minutes of a car crash.
Yeah.
And it was a 20-minute car crash.
And man, I absolutely loved it. I a lot of times think AEW overdoes the blood and gore. I thought it fit the story of this. I would much rather see something all over the place like this be bloody than your main event, just be as gruesome as possible for the sake of the blood. I thought it actually fit the story that they told here. And yeah, it was a car crash. It was all over the place, but that's what this needed. And man, I think this really helped to sustain that crowd for the last 3 matches here, because this was a huge, huge shot in the arm for that crowd that had been there for quite a while.
Yeah, and Eddie Kingston went after Danielson after he just dumped all the gasoline on Jericho and Danielson's trying to pull him off, going, dude, you're lighting me on fire too. Get out of here with that nonsense. Dude, Eddie just went mental at the end.
Yeah, and a very, very Eddie Kingston impassioned promo on the buy-in too. For those of you who didn't get a chance to watch that, you definitely need to see that.
All right, AEW Tag Team Championship match. Man, I thought Swerve and their glory were going to be the new AEW Tag Team Champions. But a couple false finishes, a couple near misses. The winners and still champions, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. I thought they were also going to tell us the story of Christian Cage costing the Jurassic Express the match.
Yeah, and I did not the way that I saw it going. I thought, you made a very good decision with your pickup of Swerve and his glory, but there was I guess
Swerve in our glory.
Yeah, or Swerve in our glory, but there was kind of a hole in your plans, wasn't it? Or a hole in your glory, you might say.
Yeah, Extreme had a hole in my heart, and it only can be filled by you.
Yeah, out of any possible thing that happened here, I did not expect to see Jurassic Express retain.
The main event. We're at almost 5 hours now. The main event. Hangman Adam Page, CM Punk, a ref bump at the end. You had sent me a message during the main event. Did the crowd turn on this match or on the competitors? Punk was selling us psychology a couple times, and so did the Hangman Adam Page, where they missed their buckshots or their, the knee spots, where Punk missed it twice. And then when the ref bump happened, Page was going to go heel and hit him with the belt, threw it back. That cost him the match, the victory, and his AEW Championship. Your winner and new AEW champion, Crazy Mariachi Punk.
This was interesting because they had me right up until about 10 minutes into this match. The last couple of weeks, it seemed like they were just throwing something up against the wall. They were trying to accelerate some kind of booking or some kind of story here that necessarily hadn't been there in present weeks. And, you really got the whole Adam Page, I'm not going to let you come in and take AEW from me type of storyline with Punk. So I was actually enjoying where they were going. It felt like it had the big fight feel going into this match. But here's what took me away from it was we had a lot of both competitors. You knew you were going to get a split reaction, and that was kind of taking place, but you had both competitors really trying to appeal to the crowd. And you had the story of a very kind of attitude era, let's steal each other's finishers. And that pretty much took over the match. And when we would have the spots where I think they were expecting a divided reaction, it was boos. It wasn't, as the match went on, it wasn't as much a split reaction because a split reaction would, require some positive energy. We were just getting all boos from the crowd. So the way this match was booked. Yeah. And I don't, it doesn't go into any what the competitors did in ring or any of the in-ring work, but the way this was laid out and the story that was being told in this match just did not seem to work with that audience. Now, I think that the people, and there were a lot of people there for Punk. There were a lot of people there for that moment. When you flash the crowd of the people crying and everything. I mean, I think a lot of people got their moment, but this just, the crowd reaction in this just felt strange, but we've got a world now where CM Punk is your AEW world champion.
And that actually brings me to the point of the PWR fantasy draft.
Yeah, I think we're out of time.
And we're not out of time. We've got a couple minutes here. Ladies and gentlemen, after the first pay-per-view, Matthew Thomas had 315, Linda Kay had 90, and I had 35 because I had made some pickups. After last night's pay-per-view, the new totals brought to you by the accounting firm of Dewey, Cheatham & Howe, leading the man they call Meathead had 665 points. Linda Kay, second place, 560 points. Matthew Thomas in third with 375 points. I believe I may have set a new AEW one-night record, Matthew, with 630 points.
Fantastic. Congratulations. And,
you guys are very lucky that, like I said, I had Serena Deeb lose a title match. I had Swerve and Keith Lee lose a title match. It could have been way worse.
Yeah, no, it could have been, but you know what? Thankfully, we'll have some new totals come next Sunday night that might tilt a little bit more in Team Nelson Matt Dallas' favor.
Wait, next Saturday night, I believe I've got a competitor as well by the name of Braun Breaker.
Oh, that's right. You do have some of that NXT talent.
Well, again, the free agent window, the pickup window does expire at the beginning of kickoff for the pay-per-view this Sunday.
There's something they kick off. Is that like a cross promotion with the XFL or something?
Yeah, Rob Gronkowski. There you go.
Oh, there you go.
All right. Currently leading Meathead, then Linda, then Matthew, 665, 560, 375. We will have more on what happened with AEW, the fallout from AEW. We'll get into feelings and thoughts, and maybe we'll do Sudokus on AEW, but we're out of time. So for Linda Kay, the man they call Meathead, and Matthew Thomas, thanks for stopping by. So long, everyone.